I'd like to take a few minutes today to discuss the end of the Torah. You see, we never read the end of the Torah in an environment in which we can discuss it. We never read the last Parshat V'zot HaBracha, on a Shabbat morning. The Torah doesn't reflect for too long on Moses' life after he's gone. As a matter of fact, there are only 7 sentences of reflection after the words, Vayamat Sham Moshe, and there Moses died. The Torah provides minimal opportunity to reflect. The Torah reading cycle prevents any opportunity for closure. We end V'zot HaBracha, we end chapter 34 of the book of Deuteronomy, and then we begin chapter 1 of Sefer Bereshit, the book of Genesis, only moments later. And perhaps it's for good reason. If we never speak, if we never reflect, if we never consider the final moments of Moses' life, we never really have to admit that he's gone. If we never have closure on Moses or the Torah, then we maintain the cyclical nature of the Torah reading schedule. There's never a moment in which a Jew can sit and reflect on the end of the Torah in an absence of Torah. There's never a moment where we sit for a moment and we're without a parsha on the calendar. We are commanded to never sit without a place in the Torah. So perhaps now we should stop and reflect on the end of Moses' narrative for understanding, for the sake of appreciating the last choices that Moses made in his life. Like so many things in Judaism, Moses' final chapters of Torah juxtaposes the sadness of losing him with the blessings he bestows on us, on the Jewish people. Just as the book of Genesis, Sefer Bereshit, ends with Jacob blessing his 12 sons, so too the book of Deuteronomy, Sefer Devarim, ends with Moses blessing the 12 tribes of Israel, the nation of Israel. We're still a family, but we now carry nationalism and peoplehood as characteristics as well. There is an undeniable sadness to reading the end of the Torah. As a matter of fact, Midrash tells us that as God spoke the end of the Torah to Moses to write down, Moses began to cry. Midrash tells us that Moses began to cry when he began writing about his own death. So what did Moses do? How did Moses deal with such knowledge? Moses decided to stand alongside every parent to help raise their children in perpetuity. Moses made sure that his legacy would live on forever. In the preamble to his blessings of the 12 tribes, he recites a sentence that transforms the Jewish people forever. Torah tziva lanu Moshe, morasha kihilat Yaakov. You probably recognize it better if I sing it like this. Torah, 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 tziva lanu Moshe. The second half goes, morasha kihilat Yaakov, morasha kihilat Yaakov. Moses charged us with the Torah, the heritage of the entire congregation of Jacob, of Israel. The rabbis of the Talmud tell us this should be the first sentence we teach our children to recite after they learn the words of the Shema. It's so foundational to a child's education that they understand that Moses gave this treasure to all of us. Every Jew has a claim to Torah, like an heir to his or her rightful inheritance. The third to last sentence in the Torah says, V'lo kam navi od b'Yisrael k'Moshe, asher yada'o Adonai panim al panim. Never again did a prophet arise for Israel like Moses, who knew God face to face. If we should never know another teacher, if we should never have another rabbi, like Moshe Rabbeinu, like Moses, our rabbi, then Moses wanted to make sure we understood what he did as a result of his face-to-face relationship with God. The Torah is here for all of us, for men and for women, for weak and for strong, for tall and for short, for learned and ignorant. We can all find our place within the landscape of Torah. There's nobody too far off the derech, too far off track, that can't find his or her way back to Torah. You know how I know? I know because I found my way back. I've explained this before, but when I struggled in the film industry to find my way, I needed guidance. And I knew that I could open a Chumash and read the Parsha during the week. And in Abraham's journey, I saw myself. I found myself. I found a connection, an entrance point at which I could enter the landscape of Torah. I felt the Torah resonate inside me, and I could suddenly see what I hadn't been able to see before, that it was time to reclaim my share of the inheritance. Torah tzivalanu Moshe, morasha kihilat Yaakov. That which Moses commanded in his life continues to inform the Jewish people every day. And in so doing, Moses is never really gone at all. He remains our teacher, our rabbi, the only rabbi who's called by Jews of all walks of life, Moshe Rabbeinu. Moses stands as the single unifying rabbi to this day of the Jewish people. The rabbis of the Talmud teach us that a child should first learn the Shema, Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. If a person knows nothing else in their life, they should know that God exists. They should understand their place in the universe. A person should be humble before the Creator of all. And the second thing a person should learn, that which Moses commanded in his life, continues to inform us and instruct us every single day. Hear, O Israel, the oneness gave us a leader who gave us Torah. The oneness chose a human being to reveal to us the moral compass for all humankind. And that human's life had to expire. But the ideas, Moses' ideas, the teachings of Torah, will never expire. May we continue to teach them to our children and to one another, and to always, always claim, demand our inheritance in the form of learning and performing mitzvot forever and ever. Let us say, Amen.